Hello guys, welcome in today's session. Today in this video, we will be basically dealing with the UGC NET preparation strategies. Today we will have with us Ms. Sakshi Agarwal, who herself has cleared this examination in the month of December 2022. Welcome Sakshi in today's session. So I hope the ideas given by you will surely help the students who will be appearing for this examination, and your insights will draw their fancy and answer their queries regarding these units which are there of these subjects which are quoted in the paper 1 and paper 2. So as first of all, I would like to
Thank
welcome
you, Aniket.
Sakshi. So Sakshi is
Thank you.
a pass out from Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia National University. She has completed her BA, LLB and LLM from the same institute. So Sakshi, how was the journey of 5 years as well as your LLM in this institution?
So the LLM in this institution, I would say, was very spontaneous for me. Like I had no plans to pursue LLM. I just gave the class. I got an LSIU back Bhopal, but I didn't go there because I'm preparing for the competitive exams. So by luck, I got but in vacancy seat I got RML, and hence I chose RML for my LLM. Over the 5 years, I have done various internships. I've explored every area of law and finally decided what not suits me and decided what I need to do in my career. So this is how I landed over here.
So Sakshi, what draw your fancy to go with net only? Like mostly in NLUs and basically RML. If I say many candidates go for judiciary or any other UPSC other competitive examinations. What draw your insights for UGC net? Like, are you planning as a teaching career, or you are just taking a UGC net as a backup, like most of the competitive examinations candidate do?
Okay. So your question itself answers this answer gives this answer. So yes, I have taken my first consideration was as a backup option while I was going for my preparations for the various examinations. And secondly, yes, if not a competitive examination, what else could I do? So yes, I have an interest in academics also, and therefore decided to proceed with next.
So, Sakshi, as you know, the paper we saw in December 22 was a mixed bag, and it was from moderate to easy also. Certain questions were easy, some were tough, and like there are certain questions which are purely luck based, like the case laws arranging and all. So, I'd just like to
Yes.
know if you will tell the students how much time you took for preparation in this particular examination by which you qualified your net, and did your college studies also contributed in it, or it was your whole soul-heartedly preparation which helped you in this particular phase?
So for this, I would say that two categories. Firstly, students who study during the college and they have a rough idea about subjects, basic subjects, and their first reading is mostly done, and they're also preparing for the competitive examinations. Second category of students were not so much involved in the studies during exams in their college exams, and now are beginning to study for the net. So in the first category, you will not go for 2 3 months study plan. A month study plan and revision of all the subjects, main topics is sufficient for the clearing the examination. However, in the second category, yes, a 2 months plan study plan is needed to go through in depth the subjects, and it's basically for example, net is testing you the memory part is strong or not. For example, this time I remember the questions were in the arrangement of the sections in chronological order in the context from the law of contracts. The agency sections were given, 4 5 sections were given, and they asked us to arrange us in the chronological order. Similarly, you get questions from the constitutional law. So here, your understanding is not that much important, but revision, yes, it's very important. So if you have done your college classes very properly, exams very properly, you have a college notes written also, then a month study plan is sufficient for you. But if you have not so much follow with the subjects during your college days, you need to go have a 2 month study plan for this examination.
So Sakshi, as you said, you gave 2 months time for this examination, and like if you have overall study with the college, that will surely contribute to it. So now coming to the paper 1 and paper 2, as you know, this paper comprises of two papers. So how you devoted your time, like how much time you gave for paper 2 and how much for paper 1, and how the student should divide his time. Supposedly, if he has 2 months before the examination, how much time, like a particular 1.5 months or 1 month for each paper, or there should be much focus on law because it's of 2 marks and more questions also, while in paper 1 there are just 50 questions. So how you will say to balance the both?
So I first discuss paper one and go to paper two. I discuss what should the strategy be and what was my way of studying. So for paper one, I had taken the classes at the Material Futurology Academy. So they gave a fair idea. So in the paper one, there's fixed set of questions that will be asked, like from 5 questions from each 10 units that are measured in the syllabus. We need not to go outside the syllabus. Syllabus is more than sufficient, and this very specific syllabus is given over there. For example, in the computer part, you need to know the topics that are mentioned over here, like the input output devices. Are very basic questions. So Tutelage Academy notes were sufficient for me to like to thorough with the concepts. And secondly, they say in paper one that whether you do classes or you do not do any classes, you study or not study, the score is same. But I would beg to differ over here. Though I have myself took the classes, and there were some colleagues, my friends who are not taking classes and not prepared much for paper one. They were different score. 4 or 5 marks difference is sufficient to break the cutoff for net or GRS. So I'll just say, please take time out for the paper one. 15 days time is sufficient. I first studied in this when I was studying preparation. For 1 week, I did paper one. And 1 week before the examination, I did paper. So in this way, I give 2 weeks, like 15, around 15 days for paper one. And that has helped me. Like preparation academy notes helped me. And studying paper one is, if you're not taking any classes, then just go to the KB Madhavan books. The book is very exhaustive. Just go by PYQs and see what all topics are asked. For example, in from Indian philosophy, they ask a question from like of nine of philosophy and different philosophies. So so you can study out what are the questions asked, and you can study from that book, KV Madhavan. Like from research aptitude,
It's
there is
KV
a question
Madan,
I
na,
always
like
ask.
the book KV Madan that comes right to the book.
Yes, yes,
Many students just take it for, but it's too bulky book. I personally also in my preparation also
bulky.
faced
Yes,
a
it's
lot of
definitely it's
issues with
bulky.
that.
But when you go to the PYQs, you know what type of questions are asked. So you can easily cut off the important part from that book and you can study. So paper one and reasoning and maths that is asked from paper one is very easy. So it is that those 10 marks are overall scoring marks for you. The struggle is a 15-20 marks, and you can easily gain those marks if you done a if you would have pre-study. So this is what for paper one. I can like share the important topics for you in the later part of the session. Coming to paper two, there are certain subjects which are very very important. There are certain subjects which are not that much important. For example, this year, like I did examination. There were I guess no questions from IPR unit, no from IPR competition. Like there were no questions asked. So it's a full unit over there, and I studied that unit in short. So did you take out time for how much important questions are there from which subject? For example, from constitutional law. I would like to mention over here for paper two, I had access to YG Laws videos. The videos are uploaded on the YouTube, and if you purchase the course, they provide you notes also. So the notes are very concise. They're apt, but still there's something is that need to be added to the notes for this examination because for example, constitutional law, the cases over here become important. Cases not the recent one, traditional cases I would rather say. For example, for death penalty cases, like they'll ask you the order of arrangement. They focus very much on the years of the cases or on the section number. So that we need to remember. Secondly, constitutional law is very important. You should have a basic understanding of the Bare Act, the constitutional law Bare Act, and the important traditional cases, like not the recent one, I would say. The traditional cases are important, and the years also, like Noji article is important. Second, coming to the administrative law, there are not such much questions from there, but Lokpal they'll twice or thrice they've asked a question, but you can easily skip if you don't have any time for that. But yes, it is a part of syllabus. You should read it, and their questions have been asked in past, but not in consistency. So, secondly, coming to the next subject is international law. International law, Dukki, yes, Dukki for all subject is sufficient if you have time. If not, if you can get access to YG law notes, they are also sufficient. From international law, also they ask very basic questions like into which year doctrine like of statehood, national recognition doctrines, the basic doctrines only they ask. So, and they ask the cases of international law are also important. They ask the cases of international law to what the subject matter this case is related to. So here you also need to know the cases. And one type of questions they ask is from the UN, from General Assembly, Security Council, the sections over there, from the articles of the UN Charter. That is also important. So yes, a basic reading of the like Dukki, I would say, superficial reading of the book, and if you had studied in the college days, that would be sufficient. Next, coming to the IPC. See, in IPC, rather than for all subjects, they have given a list of topics that are prescribed in the syllabus. Just stick to those topics. You need not to do anything extra. This list is very much helpful for like planning out what to study and what not to study. That will be very helpful for IPC also, because IPC, the whole act is very huge. You know to study the sections are like counterfeiting, false rates. Those sections are never asked, and they're not part of the syllabus also. You need to focus on the like offenses against human body, offenses against property, offenses against marriage, general defenses. So this is over there. You need to go through the sections. Yes, they sometimes do ask a punishment also. So you need to know the punishment of like most of the offenses of property offenses. So that it becomes important. And cases of general defenses, like I guess there was a question this time also, like the which case or is related to which intoxication or
Yes, yes.
and like insanity. Yes, so cases that are important over there also. Coming to torts, in torts, nothing else apart from cases. If you have the Arihan law, universal law book for net taxation, that the cases are given for torts. Just go through that list for torts, make a list of, or write on one paper all the cases of act of tort, third party, statutory obligation, of all the defenses of torts. You can, that will be helpful for you for this torts. For contract or bare act is the like full Bible for you. They will ask nothing apart from bare act. Sections, cases that don't ask much cases, yes, from the offer, you're from the like damages, they might ask one or two cases. But sections are very, very important. They can ask you chronological order, they can ask you in concept ways, anyways they can ask you the sections. The date is very, know word by word of the contract act. Sales of good act is also asked, so you need to know the sales of good act also. NIE is also part of the syllabus, but you can skip that because the questions are not repeatedly asked from the section, from that part. So we have done this. Environmental law, yes. Environmental law, they ask you about the conventions, they ask you about the principles of political principles, what in which is it was evolved. So yes, this is also an important part. If you ask in a source, there's no fixed source. You can go to the EPG website. The notes are uploaded over there. EPG is very helpful for these scaling subjects like environmental law, IPR. In fact, for thoughts also you can go through the EPG sources. I guess there's one more unit of human rights that's clubbed with environmental law
Yes,
only.
that's clubbed with
And
your
lastly,
PIL also. Human rights is clubbed with environment, while IHL is with PIL.
yes, yes. And I guess there was an IPI unit, not much questions were asked there. And last unit is very important, I would rather say, that is compared to constitutional law. And from there, definitely there's will be one or two questions only. The comparative is between US and India. So that the syllabus is very important because they're given on what point the comparison in which countries is to study. But okay, for judicial review, they have mentioned the countries on which you need to do the comparison. So you can make a 2-3 pages notes and just take the topic, take the difference between all three
So
countries
basically for
mentioned over the
CLD,
syllabus.
that's a contemporary legal development. I believe EPG Pathshala with the topics like separation of power, democracy, and these major heads of
Yes,
polity, they have to study in the differences between the USA, Canada, and all those countries, UK.
but only those countries that are mentioned in the syllabus, nothing apart
Okay.
from that.
And what about
Syllabus is very
IPR?
huge.
Like you would like to mention, like there were questions from IPR also. So for IPR, did you devoted time or like you went skimming through that particular
So
paragraph?
for IPR, and I did just last 1 day or 2 days for IPR. I just did a skimming of all the like the bare reading I did. Not much. So for IPR also they have mentioned what all they need. They have mentioned the remedies, the rights, and the infringement. So these three topics that you need to study, and you can list the sections which belong to these topics from the Patents Act, Copyrights Act, and the Trademarks Act. Also, I forgot to mention over about the company law. That is, yes, company law is also asked, and what is asked for company law is also mentioned in the syllabus only. That 2-3 things
Yeah,
like
questions from
I think about
directors
meetings,
and directors meetings and
director, and one more topic is there, like CSR. Yes, the only these three topics are asked from the corporate company law. So you need to just focus on these three sections only. So just make syllabus your Bible and take help of the PYQs. Yes, PYQs are very repeated in this paper. Like in it, you can see around like 5 to 10 questions are always there from the previous survey only, previous attempts only. So you can just if you're thorough with the PYQs and you're thorough with the syllabus, can easily crack this paper.
Even I also in my subtler videos have told them like previous year questions form a much weightage because if questions are not coming directly,
Yes.
they're indirectly asked because certain times cases might be there which two options were there in previous year question, and if you had solved them, you could surely eliminate the answer from the particular options. So that surely helps. And like there are certain ancillary subjects also of law like Motor Vehicle Act or a Consumer Protection Act. So did you go through them also, or you just went with your major subjects which were dealt in much details and you skipped those portions?
See, I would say my major focus were on the basic main subjects like constitution law, torts, contract, PIL, ITC, and all. Yes, I read competition act. I read motor vehicle act also. So they mentioned what all they need from those acts. They mentioned like I don't remember much part like there was one section that was mentioned regarding motor vehicle act. So you did focus on those part only. Remember section number of that. They have not asked motor vehicle act, but they might ask in future from that particular section. So syllabus is very important for syllabus helps you cut down because you would read the whole motor will act. It's not important for you. What point is mentioned in the syllabus, just read that and that will be very helpful.
So, okay, so like paper one also told certain aspects which you have dealt, and in such cases, if those aspects or any certain units which you like to focus on, is see maths, English, and logical reasoning, which are the these are things which we do for any reasoning questions which come in any particular examinations, be it competitive examinations or those preparing for UPSC and CSAT, etc. But what are the other 3 to 4 topics which you would like to say a candidate, which are easy topics also for the students who would like to deal in paper one, because paper one is generally neglected by the students, they do not do in detail, and that sometimes form a major difference in deciding net and JRF.
So I would say if we have thoroughly, like very seriously studied in depth the PYQs of paper one, the syllabus is done, the preparation is done. Like from the previous year questions, you can just develop understanding what is teaching about teaching aptitude, about research aptitude, what is asked over there. So from teaching, the questions will be like what form of teaching it is, like what is the role of the teachers, what is the role of education. These are very like you can answer for your basic understanding also. But sometimes there's something this net net is looking forward, like net is pointing towards that. That point can only be derived from the previous year questions. So what were they thinking of while framing the question? That you need to know. That can only be done when you have studied the previous year. So that is why previous are important for this unit. For research aptitude, just with this subject in your LLM, it will be very easy to crack it. If not, please read KV Marun. Please read the order of the research hypothesis, how it is framed, what are the steps involved. And coming next to the logical reasoning, of there are 2 parts: Indian philosophy and Western philosophy. There is always a question for Indian philosophy of 6 philosophies over the conventional philosophy, non-conventional philosophies. Just go through this philosophy. There's always a question. Second question is from Western philosophy, like syllogism. They'll always ask you syllogism. They are asking about correlatives, opposites. These are very important parts. Coming next to computers, if you have basic understanding of what computers they'll ask you what are these devices? Are they input device? Is this the audio file or video file? What is arranged in the order of speed? Like this when they ask from SSD, which is the highest, like optical fiber, SSD. I don't know the third option. There are 3 options over there. So these are the basic questions. So if you can just go through the YouTube videos. There are many various people who are like daily putting the content on the YouTube. Nothing, if you have nothing, just go to Kevin Marvin book. You might get the book online or the PDF also. If not that also, just go to the PYQs. Just but just don't read the question. Do the study of the question also. Then only it will be helpful for you to understand what the UGC is asking. So, and lastly, higher education part. In higher education part, they sometimes focus on the policies that the government has recently brought in the education sector. So I think this time the ranking has come out recently only. So in any of the papers, you might see a question from the ranking of the institutes, like from the law, whatever institutes they can ask you. So this NRF ranking becomes important. If there's any new scheme launched, like Infibet was launched once, and there was a question on the Infibet in the exam. Yes, this is how higher education is important. And I guess maths is doable. It's 10th level maths. And if you just can see a small video on the shortcuts and keys, so you can do that. English is very easy. English comprehension is very easy, very doable. Logical reasoning is also easy. You can just, if you have not well versed with the keys, tricks, you can go to any YouTube video and you can practice.
Yes. Logical reasoning coupled with data interpretation.
Yes.
So Sakshi, first of all,
Data interpretation is time taking, so you just need to do like you have practiced 2 3 questions beforehand so that you have a flow of how to do it.
so Sakshi, first of all, thanks for discussing in much detail regarding the preparation, because I think the way you told the topics which are to be dealt will surely help them. Just to before ending the session, I would also like what message you would like to give to the students who will be preparing for this NET examination or also for the December cycle also. Like what is their plan of action they should undertake, and what mistakes which you think were done by you should be eliminated by them in their cases.
So I would say one mistake I did was the lack of revision. If I had revised my content more and more rather than spending my resources, I would have scored much better than this. Like I could have solved more questions. This is one thing I think. So just take the syllabus and take PYQs. These two will be your light, guiding lamp. And so with the help of these 2 things, you can easily crack this exam. If you know the syllabus, what things I mentioned was that just read that. No, nothing extra, nothing to be added over there. Keep the resources you're limited. Just go see the PYQs, study your topic, go back to PYQs, then revise them, again go back to PYQs and see whether you're able to answer them. If you are able to clear, and you can see always the pattern is there in the questions asked. Like 1 year the paper level is easy, next year is difficult, then is easy, then difficult. So if you're able, if you study all the PYQs all the years, so first do the subject-wise PYQs, then you should do your year-wise PYQs. This you can easily trace a pattern of UGC NET. This is very helpful to like do last minute revisions also.
Thank you, Sakshi, for such a wonderful session where you discussed all those things. I hope this video will surely help the candidates, and I'm really grateful to you that you took out your time from a busy schedule to answer out the preparation strategy. I hope this video will surely benefit them and they will come up with queries. Any questions which will be there would be posted in the comment box when the video will be posted on the YouTube, and that questions would be answered therein. Thank you, Sakshi, for taking out your time. So
Thank you,
guys,
Ankit. Thank you.
if you like this video, please just follow and subscribe my channel and do share it so that you can get ideas to more and more content regarding the preparation strategy. I've also covered list regarding ILI preparation also, because and many of my students who joined my Telegram group also, whom I mentored, have made into the ILI also. So if you guys want such more videos regarding CLAT, NET, etc., please subscribe and follow my channel. Thank you guys. Have a good day.